ripping and living and striving to kill her. All right, we're going to do this one more time. Listen. I'm ripping and living and striving to kill her. The ripper, he calling, we're going, he flowing. You know he was doing it, doing it, moving it, grooving it, stopping it. I got to talk it, walking it, flipping it, ripping it. No. This is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to test my syllable ability. You know what I'm saying? I like to call it my syllability. I've been sipping on this right now. It's one of the last songs we recorded for this. So I'm going to really go off for y'all right now. We're going to do this in one breath, all right? This ain't no editing. We're going to do it like this. So y'all ready? Yeah. No. Y'all ready? Yeah. I'm living and living and striving and killing the ribby, calling, we're going and flowing and he was assuming and doing and moving and grooving and stopping and rocking and talking and walking and flipping and ripping. I'm flipping and ripping, scribbling, I'm ready to go when I buy it. You can break it open at the end, you can smoke and choke on a lady, yeah. Slicing MCs like Darth Vader. The head of the second, I spit and say yeah.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. Two 1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it here. This is James White. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now Boykin on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
From the shotgun, Boykin. The left side completion to Jones. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of...
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Let's go!
Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. A handoff to Barkley, and he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son. But they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Deep ball for Goodwin. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They keep it with Barkley on first down. They'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, here's Barkley. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Roethlisberger will throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round. Ohio.
Out of the gun, Boykin. And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Now it's Boykin. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Boykin. Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. Accelerating, and off he goes. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. He was looking for Edelman there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you never...
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, Boykin. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing here. Boykin on first. Dancing to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Boykin. Steps away to his left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Carlos Dansby. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular. So
a one-handed grab in the end zone. Not much more impressive than that. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throw left side complete. It's Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They give him a gain of 38. On 1st and 10, Bradford. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A 2nd down throw for Bradford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit. Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options.
Gotta hurry.
From the red zone now, Bradford, a screen to Bell. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Stop right there.
2nd down, Bradford goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this 1st half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Stop right there.
From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Bradford again, being chased out left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Again, it's Bradford. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. The Georgia native, former Bulldog, Justin Houston, in on the stop.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Let's go now.
And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run with Barkley. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. Now Roethlisberger trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19, and they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Following the interception, Bradford incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On second down, Bradford again. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. On third down, Bradford. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To the air again with Bradford. And complete to Lewis over the middle. Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. Bradford on the keeper, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Sam Bradford in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2. Final play of the half, Bradford. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with a Falcon. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. On the run, it's Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Let's go. Ready? Blue 30.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a second down. Here's Bradford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So they get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Stop right there.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Trying to lay one up, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Going right side here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He dumps it off to Barkley. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Let's go. Kings. Jack 16.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering Is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Bradford now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Monday.
Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Julio. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
A handoff, Barkley running left. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Barkley. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. Saquon Barkley, 78 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. Bailey now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Bradford. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. First down, Bradford. Green's got it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Bradford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Throwing, Bradford. Green with a catch left side. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. They'll find Everett there, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll throw again. Bradford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Bradford in the offense with a first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Again to Bell. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, Roethlisberger. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And now Edelman. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. And out now, here come the Bengals. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A first down throw for Bradford. Looking downfield for Jones. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Bradford. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. Bradford on first down. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The give is to Bell. And an alley to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe a free play here for Bradford. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years, our team seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. On the toss, here's White. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Bradford. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Bradford. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 4th down. So an important try here from Matt Bryant. And Bryant's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
Set! Like 30. Snickers. Snickers. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Big Ben going to take it himself. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Roethlisberger keeps it, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger in the final minute, and the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not, you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. 1 possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. One last shot now for Bradford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for Atlanta, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booger bugging me. Just see the bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon, I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'm a stud, no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, the machine. Ferragamo stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matt back, look at me. There's places in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures in the pantyhose.
Girl, we empty your pockets. I don't do that. You're my prisoner. You do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get this.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm a queen this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line of bees in this deer. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, my ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got nothing to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mixing all the bots and mixed with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on. with a watch face with little dragon balls. Come on, look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No poker eyes, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. And none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
in the club with the owner. I can walk on water, pop it like, hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. 30, I might go around the two, stacking up, I love how my money counter move. With attitude, I got a attitude, and I dropped out of school. I'm going up, check my vertical. Man, I'm breaking every rule. TMZ harassing me, I got a camera crew. I'm addicted to shopping, so everything brand new. I'm friends with the jeweler, my diamonds like Shamu. Hey, she like she applying shampoo. Pretty face, she got a look. Keep a few racks on me. I used to work in the factory. Been hating it, never bother me. I make they follow me. Teacher said that I'm a prodigy. When I'm shopping, I don't care what it's costing me. 10 bands, really, that ain't a lot to me. Turn up my swag to infinity. I leveled up on these. Yeah, I leveled up. I bezeled up on these. Yeah, I bezeled up. I ain't got time for no negative energy. I'm on a winning streak. I'm on a spree. The devil be doing the most, but he don't ever get to me. Bring out the Brinks truck. I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash. I had to run my price up. Boss your life up. I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to